The Isle of Wight is an ideal holiday location, whatever your age or interests. The Isle of Wight has so much to offer all its visitors, from the stunning cliff scenery to beautiful rural landscapes, or as a place packed with the best activities and attractions. Everything, in fact, to make the perfect holiday. Close to the mainland for convenience, yet far enough away to retain a character and a style of its own. With one of the best records for good weather in Britain, the Isle of Wight is the perfect holiday setting all year round. This is an island that offers excitement, interest, and a unique insight into the past, together with a multitude of sports and leisure activities. Combine these amenities with a peaceful setting where, if you wish, you can just relax, and you have most people's idea of the perfect holiday. Diamond in shape, just 23 miles wide, 13 miles deep, and separated from mainland Britain by the Solent, this is truly an island with something for everyone. The Isle of Wight has attracted visitors for centuries. Among the first, albeit unwelcome, were the Romans, who arrived here in 43 AD. Evidence of their stay can be seen at Newport and Brading, where the remains of the villas they occupied have been painstakingly restored and preserved. Another early visitor was Charles I, who spent his last night of freedom here at Nunwell House, before being taken to Carisbrooke Castle in the centre of the island, and eventually to London for his execution. Over the years, many poets and writers have been drawn to the island. Charles Dickens, who wrote part of David Copperfield at Winterbourne, his home in Bonchurch. Alfred Lord Tennyson lived here, at Farringford, near Freshwater. And in more recent years, J.B. Priestley, who lived in this beautiful setting at Brooke House. Other famous names connected with the Isle of Wight include Lord Louis Mountbatten, former governor of the island, and Arthur Fox, the famous boat designer and builder, also sailing companion to the Duke of Edinburgh. The Isle of Wight first became really popular as a holiday resort towards the end of the last century, when the Victorians flocked to the island and discovered its charm and elegance. Probably the most famous and best loved resident of the island was Queen Victoria, whose family's seaside home was here at Osborne House. Today's visitors to the house are able to glimpse a piece of history almost frozen in time, a place where Queen Victoria lived and worked alongside her beloved Albert, in surroundings that even today have to be admired. This favorite retreat of Victoria and Albert is a treasure house of exotic souvenirs, paintings, and antique furniture. The nursery still houses the children's toys and the original crib, which was used by the princes and princesses, together with these tiny chairs. Visitors today can marvel at the splendor of the Durbar Room, a wonderful example of Indian decoration that graces this already splendid house. When you visit this friendly island, your holiday will start with a short sea crossing. Take your pick from the fast and exciting to a more leisurely cruise on one of the many ferries which travel regularly between the mainland and the island. There are good road and rail connections with the various ferry terminals, to ensure a trouble-free journey both sides of the Solent. A novel feature of travel on the island are the retired London Underground trains, which run between Ryde Pierhead and Shanklin. Should you prefer to travel to the island in style, you may even be tempted to fly to one of the local airports, like Benbridge Airport, venue for the Schneider Trophy Air Race, held on the island annually in June. This is a lovely island, a piece of England unspoilt by the pressures of modern-day living, where you can enjoy the English countryside at its very best, with an ever-changing coastline that has a beauty all of its own. The changing seasons add colour and variety to the landscape. Just one of the reasons why you should not only visit this beautiful island in the summer months, but also during the autumn, winter and spring. During the spring, much of the island is covered in a magnificent carpet of flowers. This favourable climate enables a variety of exotic and rare plants from many parts of the world to grow in the botanical gardens here at Ventnor. Whilst wild bluebells and garlic add a striking burst of colour to woodlands and local beauty spots. Picture postcard locations can be found all over the island, from the famous church setting at God's Hill to delightful thatched cottages and working watermills. The benign climate and long days of summer make this perfect wine-growing country. As a result, a number of vineyards have been established, producing fine wines for the home and international markets. During your stay on the Isle of Wight, you will be captivated by the beauty of this enchanting island, with a coastline that can be admired from either the land or the sea. From spectacular cliffs to the unique and unmistakable landmark of the Needles. Holidays are a great time for children and parents alike, whether it's having fun on the beach on a hot sunny day, making the most of the local amenities, or enjoying all the fun of the fair. At the Needles Pleasure Park, you can ride with the family on a chairlift. Take a trip around the Needles. Or enjoy the thrills and spills of a World War I dogfight. Alum Bay is most famous for its coloured sands, and help is on hand for you to create your own special memento. At God's Hill, many of the landmarks to be found on the island have been created in miniature, in a model village. British seaside resorts wouldn't be complete without their rock shops, and the Isle of Wight is no exception. The Robin Hill Adventure Park covers over 80 acres of downs and woodlands and gives children of all ages an opportunity to work off that excess energy. At Hazley Manor, visitors are invited to the regular pottery demonstrations. And who knows, you may even learn how to make your own giant tea service. A really favourite location for children is Black Gang Chine. Once the haunt of smugglers, the Chine is now a clifftop theme park, packed with adventure and places to explore. From a Wild West street to a steamboat engine built in Victorian times, right up to a modern-day spaceflight. And for the less adventurous, at Brading, the Lilliput Doll and Toy Museum. The Isle of Wight probably has more places of interest per square mile than any other holiday location in Britain. In fact, you'll be spoilt for choice. Our tour of these locations starts at the Haven Street Steam Railway, with its original Isle of Wight trains, finally restored by local enthusiasts. At Brading, you'll find the Isle of Wight Wax Museum, with a collection of tableaux illustrating the island's history.
Welcome to the ancient rectory mansion. But pause for a moment and reflect, for you are now standing in the oldest house in the island, part dating well before 1066 AD, which house has the added distinction of being the only surviving early Tudor timber-framed dwelling in the Isle of Wight. On this very spot, for almost 2,000 years, people have lived, laughed, loved, and died. And they all had their problems, just like you and me.
Carisbrooke Castle, steeped in history, contains to this day a working treadmill for drawing water from the castle well.
Now, much of the wheel you see, that's original. That dates from 1587. That's, as you all know, was the beginning before the Armada. All the spokes and the beams, in fact, all these cross pieces you see on there, that is all the original oak. The well was 161 feet deep. There's usually around about 40 feet of water. Okay then, right, now I'll give you some idea of the depth of the well. I'll pour this water down there. If you'd like to have a listen, it takes 5 seconds for it to reach the bottom. Okay, here we go then. Right, now.
For those interested in maritime heritage, you can visit St. Catherine's Lighthouse, which stands to warn shipping of the hazardous coastline. The Maritime Museum at Bembridge chronicles the island's nautical history and has a fascinating collection of items recovered over the years from local shipwrecks. As you might expect, you can take your own sea trip from various points around the island. There are a number of attractions which house the beautiful and exotic. Birds, animals, and other wildlife which normally you would only expect to see in faraway places, including a colony of breeding flamingos. This bird park houses over 300 tropical birds. Hundreds of exotic butterflies from many countries fly freely at Butterfly World. Whilst in the Japanese water garden, the colourful giant koi carp are a fascinating sight. The Isle of Wight Zoo has a reputation for rearing big cats and many other animals. The island is also home to a donkey sanctuary and hosts many events connected with the equestrian world. There are always special one-day attractions to be seen on the island. The Heavy Horse Show at Brickfield's Horse Country, with demonstrations of yesteryear's farming methods to educate and entertain almost every day of the year. At St. Lawrence, in the south of the island, you will find a park for rare farm animals and waterfowl. The Isle of Wight glass was founded in 1973 by international glassmaker Michael Harris. His studio now produces a unique form of glassware using gold and silver leaf, which is exported all over the world. You can visit this centre and view the artistry of the glassmaker at work. The Arraton Country Craft Village is a place where visitors can not only see a range of traditional skills, but also meet the artists and craftsmen at work. This is the oldest established working craft centre on the island. The art of the sweet maker can be found nearby. Traditional, mouth-watering, old English sweets made to entice the audience. If you are seeking a more energetic holiday, the Isle of Wight can offer every sport and leisure activity that you can possibly think of, whether it be on land, in the air, or on the sea. A paradise for walking and cycling holidays, with an abundance of tracks and footpaths across some of the most spectacular countryside in England. All sports are catered for, with specialist centres for golf, bowls, swimming, and squash. And for the fitness fanatic, the Savoy Country Club has its own gymnasium. Sailing centres with qualified staff who will teach you the art of canoeing and sailing. Sailing is the main activity for which the island is renowned. The Royal Yacht Squadron at Cowes is the country's premier yacht club. Cowes Week which takes place every August, is a most important and spectacular event in the British yachting calendar. Other notable events include the Cowes Classic Powerboat Race, with competitors from all over the world. The Round the Island Yacht Race, where well over 1,000 craft participate, is yet another annual spectacle with a unique atmosphere. If you're wondering where to stay, you will soon learn that there is a wide variety of accommodation to suit every pocket and taste. From the more luxurious hotels with first-class restaurants in tranquil, secluded surroundings, to the homely atmosphere of the welcoming guest houses, offering friendly service and real value for money. On the other hand, you may prefer the livelier atmosphere of a holiday centre with its inbuilt attractions. Caravan and camping parks, set in spectacular downland, close to sandy beaches and coastal walks, offer the more informal accommodation and the outdoor life. And, as you would expect from a holiday location, a variety of places to eat out. Pubs offering good wholesome food. Quaint family-run tea rooms. This historical setting at Arreton Manor, where you'll be waited on by maidens in period costume, together with many excellent restaurants located throughout the island. And for the children, just the sort of food they really enjoy. Shopping on the island is varied, from locally produced fine foods, wines, ale and cider, and the island can even boast its own spring water too, to shopping areas which not only include branches of the major stores, but also local shops, which are unique to the island. There are also a number of specialist centres, such as the Isle of Wight Pearl, offering a wide selection of jewellery to satisfy the demand of the most discerning customer. Glass and pottery can often be purchased directly from the centre where it is produced, as here at Chesnall Pottery. And to round off your day, there's a wealth of restaurants, variety shows and discos for your entertainment. An island then with a special charm, rich in colour and entertainment. An island to savour and explore, full of character and beauty. Whether you're looking for a summer holiday or a relaxing out-of-season break, this has to be the ideal location. The Isle of Wight truly has something for everyone, whatever the season, whatever the weather. A holiday location that will always bring back happy memories and welcome your return.